Right, well, good afternoon everybody. I'm back home again. My little greenhouse. I've managed to get downstairs for 10 minutes. I'm going to try a little bit potting off. I've managed to get a bit of compost down from the allotment this morning. We popped up there first thing with Roger, and what we were doing was we planted a few early tatties, and of course my early tatties being the Winston, they're here now, job done. And of course I had a couple of trarefuls of Jazzy that were planted outside as an early tatty last year, salad potato. They're absolutely beautiful. So what I've done, I've planted the large tunnel with 3 big rows of Jazzy eggs. I had a few left, they were a lovely tatty, nice boiling tatty, salad potato. So I planted 3 big rows of them. So I'm over the moon. It's one big job. Roger did most of the planting, and of course I just passed them over, spaced them out for him, and managed to do some little bits and pieces up the garden. Not a great lot because I'm still just hobbling around on my crutches, so I'm getting there slowly but surely. It's an absolute fantastic day. It's been lovely and warm. Sun's been shining. You wouldn't think it here, but as you know, I'm down home. I'm in my back garden. I never see any sunshine till at least the middle of February. At least the middle of February. It climbs over the roof, and then I start to get a little bit of relief from the sunshine. That's one of the reasons I use secondary lighting in my greenhouse. Now, if you've noticed, I managed to get this job done yesterday before the winds struck last night. Now, it was some really heavy winds last night. I thought I would have seen a lot more damage than what I did, but touch wood, once again we've been lucky. Now, my son and lads come down yesterday and gives a hand. We'll manage to get this all lined up. And of course, you've got to weigh up the pros and cons of lighting your greenhouse. You're going to save a little bit of heat, but then you're going to be cutting down on your light levels. You know, we've been talking about it for a few weeks now on the net and the Facebook pages. A lot of people commenting about light, how important it is. Well, I put lighting more important than what heat is, because if you haven't got your light levels, regardless of what seedlings you're growing, you're going to make them stretch. You're going to force them up. They're going to grow up leggy towards the light, and they're going to be susceptible to all sorts of diseases. They're going to be weak, and of course you'll end up losing your seedlings. So, to me, light is the most important thing. But I have put it's a nice brand new sheet of bubble wrap, so it hasn't cut the light down too much. But what I always like to do is to build my benches up so that any seedlings I've got is right at the top, near where the light is. And you'll see it at the allotment up the plot when I build the benches in the tunnels. I always up the top end, so the seedlings are always sitting on the top benches. My melon house, I've got that to do this weekend, some new polythene. But once again, the benches on the top, highest are for the seedlings. The seedlings always go up to where the light is, and to me that's a priority. But as I say, we managed to get a few bits and pieces done this morning. My main job was to bring some of my homemade potting compost down. Now, Marcus Shaw commented on that the other day, and what his query was did I sterilise my compost? Never do. When you buy the multi-purpose compost, they've already been sterilised. Main thing being for the amount of bacteria that's in the compost. When these big companies make a compost up, and they get all the ingredients all together, mix them all together, and what they do, they put them through a heat process. Now the heat process kills everything off, all the bacteria, but unfortunately what it's doing is killing all the good bacteria off. So I always weigh the pros and cons up, and that's always been one of my great arguments about this heat process. You're killing all the good stuff off. And there's a batch I've just made up this morning. It's perfect. It's just sticking together nicely. It's 2 parts multi-purpose, 1 part my own homemade compost out of bins, just a little sieved, extra sharp sand, and a little bit of bone meal mixed in. And that, to me, is absolutely perfect. Now, as I say, the bacteria that's in your soils, a lot of it's good stuff here. You need that bacteria. It's working away. It's in your compost bins. It's rotting your stuff down. You know, and then your soils and your allotment and your gardens. It's all full of bacteria. But a lot of it's good stuff that you need to aid the rotting down process of the vegetation, the manures, anything else that you put into the garden. Now, you need that bacteria. So, as I say, my point is, if you're going to kill stuff off, you're killing the good stuff off. You're just making it very, very prone to disease. building up. So it's one thing I never do. But I hope I've answered your question there about the compost. As I say, I never sterilise mine. What I do is when I make a potting compost up, when I'm potting plants up like this, and these are the forget-me-nots, these are going to be potted up this week. They're going into that compost, and the first thing I'll do is I'll get them to spray with chamomile tea. Now once again, Dave Shaw was asking the other night how I make the chamomile tea. Simple, Dave. Just a tea bag and a litre of water, boiling water. Let that water cool down. I just let it sit in the pot all night, and then in the morning squeeze the tea bag out. You get a nice juice. Put it in your container and just add a little bit of soft soap, a little bit of washing up liquid to it, good soap, and then I'll give me cuttings or anything else I've potted off. I'll get the soil a good soaking with that first, and then I'll give the young plants that I've potted in a good soaking with that. So that's helping. And of course, the chamomile tea is full of antibacterial properties, and that's why I use a chamomile tea. So once again, I'm helping the soil. I haven't been killing off all the good bacteria, and I've got extra bacteria or bacterial particles in there that'll help with the bedding. So once again, that's 2 strokes to me, and hopefully one against the bad ones. But I've never found any problems in making my own compost over the last 10, 15 years I've made them. And if I do get problems, and then there is ways you can work around it. Trying to be as organically friendly as you can be, and that's the way I look at it. But yeah, so one of the jobs today was to get these baskets done. And of course, the wife gets a little bit sick of them after a while, so what I like to do is I bring them downstairs, empty them out, and of course, there's a lot of the plants you can sow. The calicos, and these are take that leaf off, because a lot of the bottom leaves start rotting away. These are semi-cacti, so as you can see by the leaves, big, blousy, full of water, and so you can treat them exactly the same. You can pull away from their baskets, and they'll go into a nice pot, and they'll just sit in the greenhouse. That's an absolute fantastic plant. My job today is to get these baskets tipped out, and all that's in these baskets is multi-purpose compost. That's all that should be in them anyway. Now all I'm going to do is tip that out, and of course take any bows or whistles that's on it. I should have a pair of scissors knocking around somewhere, but as usual, I cannot find anything. I'll do that later. And what I'll be doing, I'll be putting a few daffodils in there, and of course a couple of pansies and some polyanthus, and that'll make a fantastic spring basket. And once again, that's another nice one. Once again, the calico, it's a lovely white one. I've got the red and the white, so I'll put both of them up. And of course, I've got a beautiful variegated ivy. Now the ivies are done in the summertime. If you can remember on, I bought a couple of ivies in the summer, and these are to go into the winter baskets. Now as I say, I've just tipped that basket out, and all there should be in there is multi-purpose compost, and just mix it in with my compost. Not going to do any harm, and it's going to make a first-class compost. Now that ivy there is beautiful. Now if you just gently tease it apart, like I've done there, there's the first one there. Once again, tease it apart. There we are. I've got 3 perfect plants for the price of 1. I'm just going to stick that in there. Nothing special. And of course, I haven't got room in the greenhouse down here, because I'm going to be starting to sow seeds soon. So what I'll do, I'll pot these up, put them in a tray, and I'll hopefully get me something to take them up on my barrow. And they'll go in there. Cold polytunnel, no heat whatsoever. Yeah, that's the second one. Number 3. So easy to do. They've got a good little root system on. That could have been actually stripped down again, but I'm not going to. You could have gotten 4 with that one. It's a lovely little plant. And by the summertime, they'll be perfect little plants. And then next Christmas time, if I want to put my own baskets up, there's a perfect pot for them. So there's 3 out of that 1. They're done. The calicos, as I say, can be potted up. Doesn't matter what size plant you use. What I've also noticed is a little cyclamen in the back of this one, and of course a cyclamen, the perennial, but the leaves have just been dying off a little bit. You can see by that there, rotting away, and of course what that is too much moisture around the top. But there's a lovely little cyclamen there. I'll take that out and that'll be potted up exactly the same. And then once again, pull the ivy out, and that's actually breaking away itself, because when they put these ivies in the pots, all there are is little rooted cuttings. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 already. What I'll do is find some extra pots. Just as well I brought some extra ones down yesterday. I didn't realise I was going to have that many plants to pot up. It's amazing when you see our baskets and how well you can use them again. Here's another one. No, it's a different one. It's a light green with a white tinted leaves on. Once again, it's variegated, but no doubt still exactly the same. You'll be able to. I'm going to put them two together, because what I want for next year is some lovely ivies to put in me spring baskets. So they'll be all ready for next year for planting out. Now, as I say, the only thing I'll not be saving is the poinsettia. I've never been over keen on them. Don't know why. I mean, they look nice at the Christmas time. They're nice red. But they take a lot of looking after. And a lot of people don't look after them properly. You know, just keeping them moist, that's all. Not overwatered. They hate too warm a house, so you've got to keep them cool. You know, and they don't like direct sunlight, so you've got to have them on a windowsill where they are getting enough light. And it's just one of them plants that can be a little bit fussy. Too much water and they'll start dying back. Too much heat, they'll start dying back. So it's one of them things I'd rather do without. But I get them given, otherwise get them given, and there's some lovely plants. So there again, there's 4 of them done. They're potted off, and well chuffed with them. Now I'm going to use a bigger pot, or I might be able to get that red calico in the back there, because I haven't brought any extra pots down. No, it's going to be a bit too tight in there, so I'll have to put them in the bigger pots. But once again, when you start using the bigger pots, you're using a lot of space up in the greenhouse. And that's why I say is I'm going to have to take these up the garden. They'll just go and sit in a cold polytunnel. Because they are a nice plant, and as I say, you can keep them for quite a while. And these will go outside on the patio once the weather warms up. So there's one that Calico's done. Absolutely fantastic. As I say, if you don't like to throw your baskets away, just make yourself a bit of compost up, a bit of homemade compost, and you can put these up. Well, I might as well do this white one while I'm here. And of course, what I've got left in the basket, which I always put in, I don't know why, they put a rose in. I put a little miniature rose in. Now the miniature roses I can keep. You can put them in the garden. Once again, that's how I potted up, so I'll put that out the way. The cyclamen will come out, and there it is, small cyclamen, lovely little plants, perennial. I'll just take a little bit of the root off there, because I'm going to put him on the small pots. He's got a nice little root system on him, so he'll pot up really well. And as I say, if you get these baskets, you know, you can salvage a lot of the plants out of them. So there's a cyclamen, and all it is in here is frost free. There's no exceptional heat whatsoever. I don't like it too warm in the greenhouse. When I put the bud room in, it's going to be completely different. Once the bud room's set up and the light's going on, it's going to be a little warmer. But once again, I'll only keep it around about 50, 55, and that's fine for me. You know me, when I start once I start the heating off, I never go over 55. But that's fine for me. There's a lovely little fern there. Beautiful plant. That'll go into one of the bigger pots. And as I say, I've potted 4 of these up now already. I'm running out of space. My back bench has got all my tools on. I've got my sprayers on, I've got everything else on, and of course I've got to work my way through that to get myself some good benches. There we are, that's that done, that's perfect. So move them all that, so that's the wife's first basket done. Now that is the rows. Now the way they do the roses, I think they do the same things. I think they just stick a load of cuttings in. What I might do with that, I might just clean it down. It looked like it had been dying off anyway. That was a lovely little lemon rose at Christmas time. So what I might do with that, I might just take all the rubbish off it. That looks quite well, them 2 on the side there, but these ones, yeah, they're just the little slip cuttings that they put on the sides. Them 2 there, absolutely no good whatsoever. And that looks like it's got a nice bit of growth around it. So I'll keep that one. I'll put that up into a pot. Just leave the flowers on, keep it in here where it's a little bit warmer. And see how it goes. Now what I am planning to do in the garden tomorrow is to get stuck into this grapevine. I've done 2 this morning. These pots will never come out for me when I want them. Of course, I've been in the shed for the last 6-7 months. So I'm just going to tip that bag out into there. As you say, again, nice little baskets these. The compost that I've been in is fine. And all I'm going to do is pop that in there and fill it back up with its own compost. And this will just go and sit in the cold greenhouse. And if we don't get any nice new growth from that in the springtime, then I'll pop it into the garden, and you might have a nice little rose growing in the garden. You see, and then once again, took that compost out. Now I have got potting off to do tomorrow, so what I'll do with this compost here, I'll add some new fresh compost, multi-purpose compost, just a handful. I've got half a bin of my own compost from the allotment. I'll mix that, a little bit of sharp sand, and then I've got another mix to make up, all ready for my potted plants. And then tomorrow, hopefully, I'll get started on forget-me-nots, and I've got a few bits and pieces there I need potting off, some smaller pansies and that, they can get done. But yeah, it's all go at the moment. Trying to get caught up, slowly but surely. As I say, we've been up the garden this morning, we're getting the early teas in. What I want to make a start on next up there is getting them grapevines sowed. As I says, you need to get the grapevines done now, January, before that sap starts rising. What I'm intending to do tomorrow afternoon is to come back down here, because I'm a few clips short. I don't know where they've all gone to. I think a few of them must have popped off through last year. I'll have to go to Wilkinson's. I want to get some new clips on. Get the new clips on, some extra tape around the sides, get the bud room in, check the cables, get the heating, the lighting on, and then I can start making the sowing of the begonias, petunias. I want to start some early celery off, and I want to start the giant onions off. So I'm going to put all them in the bud room. The temperatures will be around about the 55, 60 mark just for the first week or two. And once they're through, they'll come out in the greenhouse, and of course temperatures in there will be about 50, 55. Never any higher than that, and they'll be perfect, and they'll just tick away nice and slow till the end of the month, middle of February, and we'll take them up the garden, and they'll go into the melon house up on the top shelf where there's plenty of light. And of course, I'm lucky enough, because the melon house, well, the allotment, I get full sunshine all day long. So, you know, if you get a little bit of sun in the morning, you'll be surprised how them temperatures rise. But that's just a few little tips this morning to start this video off. I hope I've helped Marcus out with his compost query, and of course Dave Shaw with the chamomile. Don't forget that, Dave, get the chamomile out. I'll give all these a spray this afternoon with chamomile. Not harm them, as I said, antibacterial properties in them. It'll just give them a little bit of help, and of course nice fresh compost to get their roots into, and then plants will run away. I'll keep you posted on them through the summer, and guaranteed them pots will be full of root by summertime, and be lovely for going into your baskets and for next year. And of course your baskets, they'll be filled again tomorrow. I'll bring some polyanthus down, some pansies. I've got some bulbs left over, not too late. I'll pop a few of them bulbs in. These have been sitting here for 6 weeks, and of course whilst I've been in the hospital and that, one thing and another, I haven't getting turned round. But I'll definitely get that done. Get all this finished, get it all tightened up, plenty of clips in, get the bud box sorted out, get the light on, and then we're ready to rock. And what we'll do this weekend, I'll make a sowing this weekend on next week's video of the onions and whatever seeds I've managed to pick up from Wilkinson's. I have sent away for a lot of my stuff online, and that'll be arriving soon. So I will have I've got peppers and chilies upstairs that I saved from last year. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start chitting this week, and I might start that off in next week's video. Upstairs I'm going to start chitting them, and of course that's putting them in paper, tissue paper, and a bit of warmth on top of the heater at home, and see if they'll sprout. If they're viable, they'll sprout. If not, well, you know not to plant them. That's the only time I chit seedlings is when I save them myself. When I buy them in from different seed companies around the UK, I never have to chit them because they're first class seedlings all the time. So that's another tip. But I will start a new video off by chitting the seed next week, getting down here when all this is laid, finished, the bud box is in, the lights on, and we can do a little bit of sowing. But for the time being, I'm going to knock off, tidy this bench up. I might be able to get some of this stuff taken up the plot tomorrow, out of the way, and then we can crack on with what's sowing. But for the time being, I'm going to knock off. We're going to get ourselves out the plot tomorrow, and we'll get started on this grapevine, and I'll show you what progress we're making up there. Okay? So I'll see you all again soon. Right, well, good afternoon everybody. I've managed to get a lift up a plot this afternoon with the which appreciated by the daughter. She's just dropped us off with a nice roll of polythene, which I've got to repair the top end of the 100-foot greenhouse, but unfortunately not until about March. You'll probably just be able to see the roll up on the stage in there. It's a nice heavy duty polythene, so that'll be fitted on in March. It's only one part of the greenhouse we've lost. The gales we had the other night when I was reporting on it, I mean, they were really strong, gusting. And unfortunately the only damage we've had on the allotment is the door and next door's polytunnel. Now this stuff is great. It's what they use on the staging, and I'm sure that'll go on the end shed of the greenhouse. If you notice the bed, this is a bed that I talked about on my Facebook page, and this is the main one. And what we're doing this year is we'll fill it with early tatties. We've got the weepy hoses out, so I can turn the weepy hoses now and water 3 rows. The only thing I've got to do is to tighten up the ends. I put little clips on the end onto the actual the sidings, and tighten the hoses down so they don't move. That's the only job I've got to do. I had to bring me drill today, and of course that's one of the little jobs I hope to complete. Just a couple of little brackets on the ends here, and we'll get that get the pipe sorted out. As you can see, when we do turn the beds over, we tend to take the pipe work out of the way, so I'll have these little brackets to fix back on again with a drill and that, and I can manage that easy enough myself. As I've just got to take my time in here. I'm by myself today, so I don't be doing anything stupid. What I did do, what I mentioned, is that I do these are the 2 grapevines that I planted last year, the black ones. Now you've got to be very careful with these. You don't want to let them grow too long. What I did yesterday, I took a second set of these and I cut them right back. And the only thing I didn't do is I cut that top off that one. That'll be trimmed up in the next couple of days. That's no problem. But this one's been done. It's the first year root cutting. It's the first year came, same as that one there. And with this one, of course, I've trimmed the top off. So that's it. They'll be taking up the top end there and bent over the top of the staging, and they'll be travelling along the staging over the next 3 or 4 years, and that's hopefully where we'll get our crops from. We should get a crop from next year, now that I've planted up. And of course these are all the cuttings that I've taken off the side, and I'll show you when we go next door and we'll do the big grapevine. I'll use all the cuttings. I'm saving these because there's some nice thick ones there, and of course we'll get some lovely young cuttings off that, some rooted cuttings. And what I'll do is these, I'll take these down home and I'll clip them down home in the greenhouse. As I say, I can't do too much on my legs at the moment, but as you know, I'm busy getting my back garden greenhouse sorted out so I can start planting in there. And what I'm thinking of doing is taking these canes just in a bag down home so I can, nice and warm, and I can get them all trimmed up, cut up, and of course planting it into a bit multi-purpose compost and sharp sand, and that'll be some great vine cuttings for the new year. As you can see, I've still got chrysanthemums lying around. I should have really gotten these done long before I went into hospital, but as you see, got some absolutely fantastic growth on the bottoms there. Nice young cuttings there. No doubt I'll be taking them, and these are I believe, see it? Yes, Liverpool Festival. Absolute fantastic colours, lovely blooms. So what I'll be doing with them, I'll be cutting them back and taking cuttings from them within the next few weeks. There's still a few knocking around here. There's some pinks and some whites. Now here, what I did yesterday, what I started to do yesterday, I had knocked about 6 of these buckets out last year before I went into hospital. And of course I put the tubers in a tray, and of course it had been dripping in the 100-foot greenhouse into the tray. A little bit of water had gathered in the bottom of the tray, and of course a lot of them were rotten, so I've lost them. But I'm hoping the soil's a bit moist, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip them out. And of course these are gladioli. I'm going to tip these out, and hopefully I'll save a few bulbs from these. I want to get these done this week or next week. Get them tipped out and see what state the combs are. If the combs aren't any good, if I can only save a few, it gives us a chance to send away. Of course, I've got my catalogues out at the moment. I'm sending away for different seeds and different bulbs, so no doubt I can just I can add these. There's another Liverpool Festival. It's just been left to grow. They're lovely blooms when they're looked after. Absolutely first class. But these have just been left to get on with. No disbudding or nothing. So I'm hoping next year I've got a bit more time to spend on them, and we'll get stuck in. Now this is one of the jobs I must get done this week. Of course, is the melon house. And what this says, it's a greenhouse inside the polytunnel, and I use this for all my seedlings. And of course, when I was talking to you yesterday about the light, this is a place where they'll come. It's absolutely fantastic. You get full sunshine here, but unfortunately the roof's collapsed. All this is old polythene. I've just sent away for a new roll. It's only 1 metre wide by 20 metres. And what I'll be doing this next week, I'll be taking the framework off and putting a new roof on in here, and then I'll put the little paraffin heater in here, just on gentle heat, and it'll keep us frost free. I mean, today it's absolutely blowing a gale out there, and it's nearly 50 degrees in here. So that's just that little bit of sunshine. It's windy as hell outside. It's raining and the wind's freezing cold, but in here, in the melon house, it's nearly 50 degrees. So, you know, I keep telling people, don't panic about your heating. If you want to grow stuff just for the garden, really you shouldn't need any heat. If you start your stuff off in March, like I do in here, it's more or less completely cold in the melon house. And these are the top shelves that I like to use for the ceilings. As you can see, it's lovely and light, a bit of sunshine coming through there. And as I say, if you can give your seedlings as much light as you can, and then you're on a winner all day long, no problem. Okay, so I'll get all this pulled down, and on Sunday afternoon, no doubt Roger will probably come up with this. I'll get the plastic latten that's on here, keeping it all down, take all this off. I've brought my drill up with this, and so we can get a nice new sheet of polythene on the roof, and then hopefully this is all ready for next week. I did manage to get a few of the chrysanthemums brought inside here. Here's the pinks, Dodged Crystal, Max Riley, nice yellow one, Liverpool Festival. So all these, Alison Pierce and John Wingfield. That's about 6 of my favourite ones. Now all these, I'll start sending the stools out, shoots out the stools now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 on there already, and that Dodged Crystal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on there. And that Dodged Crystal. So what I might do next week, I might take all these cuttings off and root them off. Nice early flowers, nice good strong plants for the springtime. but they'll just be on gentle heat. There'll not be any too much bottom heat. I'll probably take them down home and put them on a little gentle heat on top of my heat bench, and they'll root away fine in there. What I can do in here, I can put the little paraffin heater in here and just put them up on the top shelf here with a plastic cover over the top. I've got plenty of trays, so I might do that. Just set them in here. As I say, the sun's just starting to come up here now. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the northeast here. Absolutely freezing, and as I say, you can probably be able to hear with the wind and the rain. But I'm up here now, so I might as well make the most of it. I want to get this video finished, so I'm going to pop next door and I'm going to get started on the grapevine. But trees are doing fantastic, by the way. This is, if you remember last year, beginning of last year, we planted this peach tree. This is peach avalon, and the framework it's built up, it's absolutely marvellous. The size of some of them side branches. I've got a little bit of work to do with this, a little bit of cleaning up, a little bit of nipping off and tying in, but I'm sure we'll get some. Hopefully we'll get some fruit off this year. We'll see how it goes though. As I say, just got to keep an eye on it because it's a heavy grower. There's one thing I have noticed is chains lying all over the shop. So I want to get all these picked up because I've got the strawberries to put in a basket soon. But yeah, I'm well pleased with this. Well pleased with this big tunnel. So we'll pop in the smaller tunnel next door, and I'll show you what we've been doing in there. Okay. Right, well, here we are in the lower Polytunnel. I'm not going to be too long in here because, as I say, time's marching on. I don't like to be up here too long by myself. I'll have to phone the wife and tell her I'm ready to come home. But I'm just going to give you a wee peek of our spring cabbage. And these are the spring cabbage Duncan. Absolutely marvellous. I'm over the moon with them. Up on the top shelf there, on the top bed. If I can get this. Oh, you're not able to see them, but these are all of our spring bedding that we started on. Over the far side there's a big tray full of Bellis daisy. I'll show you them. That's the strawberries that Roger brought up last week, and of course that's the Albion. They're going to be our main crop strawberries. I've just hide them in a pot, a small cup, and hopefully they're going to start rooting soon. And once they do, once they start rooting, I can get them set for the baskets. Now this tunnel is always the one that we use for our baskets. So as I say, I just put the Albion, and already there's some nice green growth there on the crowns. So I'm over the moon with that. So what I'll do with that, there'll not be much root growth at the moment because it's just been potting up. As I say, I only got them before the Christmas. It's explained on my Facebook page that they're a little bit late in getting delivered because the troubles I had with the warm weather over in Holland. Of course, where a lot of these plants are grown, the weather was too warm, so they couldn't lift them from the fields, and they had to wait until I got a cold spell. Which brings us to a point on the Facebook page. There's a young lady had asked about rhubarb. When is the best time to lift it? Well, you know, she is a little bit late because really, if you're lifting rhubarb, you want to lift it around about September, October time. Lift the crown out of the bed. I think she had 5 crowns and she was thinking of lifting them all. Well, that to me is a bit disastrous because you're not getting no fruit this year. Ideally, what you want to do is, if you've got 5 or 6 crowns, is to half them. Take 3 out this year and leave 3 for next year. At least you're going to have some that's going to crop. If you take 3 up and split them into what you want, into 2s, 3s or whatever, lie them on top of your bed now, so they get a good frosting and it breaks their dormancy, and then replant them bits of crown into your new bed or new border or new bit of garden, whatever you've done. But make sure they get a good frosting first on the top of the bed, and then you can replant them. But what will happen is they'll grow this year, but they'll be very fine shoots, so you'll not be able to crop from them first year ones. And that's the idea of leaving half them in. The half that you've left in, they'll just fruit normally. You'll get a good crop from them, and then the ones that you've transplanted, the ones that you've cut up next year, you should be able to fruit from them. They'll be strong enough, they'll be well rooted, they'll start making themselves a nice crown, and you'll be able to crop from them. Dividing rhubarb, everybody's got their own ideas. I like to do mine every 5 years if I can get around it. It's a big job, it's not a small job, but I do believe if you do divide them, you get a much better crop because after a while the centre dies out and you only crop from round the sides. So it is a good idea to divide them, but it's not a small job. And of course it's best carried out in the autumn, just before the winter. You can lie your pieces on the bed, let them get a good frosting, replant them. My bed up there I should have done 2 years ago. You know that, if you go back to my videos, you'll see that. I had the full intention of half in the bed, and transferring half down to here to a new bed, but I still haven't gotten around to that. Now that bed's 8 years old now, so it definitely needs to be done this year. So that's a big project for me and Roger. We'll probably take a quarter of it this year, or a third of it this year, a third next year, and a third year the year after. I know I'm looking at 3 years, but you know, that's what gardening's all about. You know, you never, it's never short term. It's always, you always think about the long term, jobs that's coming on in years to come, and Ruob's one of them. So no doubt we'll take a third of this year, we'll split it, but I'll make a video on that back in the year, and I'll show you how we do ours. But I just want to show you these spring bedding, and this is, we always grow ours the same way. Now if you remember in the beginning of the video, I showed you the forget-me-nots. Now these are potted up exactly the same way. These are multi-cell trays, and these are the Bellis daisy, and these are potted up just a few weeks ago, and they've got a fantastic root system. Now I'm going to have to pot these up in like small cups because they're grown away really nice. Now these are just for family and friends. I've got 4 full trays of these. It's 48 in a tray, so I've got quite a bit of potting up to do. We've got a mix made up next door in the big greenhouse in the big polytunnel. So next week or the week after, I'll set Roger to sort some pots out, and he can sit here quite easy, nice and mild. And these, I mean, the sun's just coming up over there, and it's got to be 60 in here now, even with the door off. Because with the gales is Roger must have left part of the door open, and the gale's caught, and it's pulled it back, and it's pulled one of the hinges out. But that's why I need me drill today. Hopefully I'm gonna fix that. But that's the Bellis daisy. They're up the way, and of course we'll get them potted up next week. So what I want to do now, I want to do a little bit of work on this grapevine. I'll just spin you around. What I have been doing is sorting trays and pots out. As I went through every different part of the greenhouse, there's been trays lying around, there's been pots lying around. And you know, I like to spend the best part of the autumn time just working my way around and sorting out trying to sort all my pots and trays out. Now here's what grapevine there. For all the new starters, all the new subscribers, this is probably the first time you're seeing the inside of this tunnel. This grapevine's probably old 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and it crops really well. When I decided to make these beds, what I had done, if I can get myself up onto here, what I did do, when I first built this tunnel about 12 years ago, I put a couple of boards on here so I can sit down and put my leg out. When I first built this tunnel, well, I built it about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and I had two. I built it really for growing leeks and onions in, croissants, stuff like that. But then when I fell out of favour with them, me and Roger decided to put one single bed in, and of course we'll put on posts. We've got a staging post down the side, up the top, which gives us plenty of support so we can get lots of benching up the height, and that's what I'm on about light. I can get benches right on the top, and I can get seedlings right on the top, so they're getting maximum light, and that's what it's all about. I never rely on too much heat, gentle heat, but plenty of light, and your crops will grow away nice and steady. So for the first timers, if you just joined our channel, well, normally you'll get me video in the solstice in December, and that's what I like to do these. But with us being in hospital, it's knocked us back a little bit. But what I need to do, I need to bring a little bit of a scrubber up. Now these are just side shoots that's come away from the main trunk. Now, what you want to do, you want to go right back as far as you can to the main stem. Now that's a lovely little stem, that. And cut that off. In the bottom there's a nice bud there. Nice straight cut, half-inch from there, and then go up. And what I'll do is I'll take that hoe, I'll just chop the top of it, just keep that, because I want to measure that out. That's the bottom, nice flat cut, half-inch, and then I can plant that in one of my litre pots with a bit of sand in the bottom, a bit of compost, and then I can go half-inch above the top bud, which would be that one. I'll just take that one off just for the time being. That's a perfect cut. I'll show you how to put these cuttings in. If you've got a grapevine, it's quite easy. It's a perfect cutting, that, nice and straight. Little pieces that grow on it, just cut them off. Plain stem there, chop them off. As I say, I don't let anything grow up the sides of it. I like to wait until I get to the top of the cane, which is grown massive now, all the way around there. Cut that one off. Once again, ½ inch. Nice butter in the bottom there, ½ inch. Chop that. Cut away the rubbish on the top. Because they're nice and flexible this time of year. As I say, you want to get it done now, because don't leave it too late, because January, the sap's going to start, there's the rain coming again, the sap's going to start rising. And what you don't want sap when you're cutting your vine, because it's going to start bleeding. So, you know, if you've got a vine and you want to cut it, get it done now. So that's perfect cutting there, two there, just off them pieces. So all the dead leaves. Now what I like to do with mine, I'm going to chop these pieces off. I've been cut back. They're no good. Get them off. And what will happen is, just where we've had pieces grown out, side shoots, over the years they've grown and grown and grew like a big gnarled piece of timber. But you know, I don't mind. I try to clean them off as best I can. Now another thing I like to do is to take a brush or an old wire brush and just scrape down the trunk, and you'll find a lot of the bark just comes away. Because if you leave that on, you're going to get bugs, you're going to get scaly insects trying to get into there, and the first thing they'll do is eat away the bark out. As you see, by the thickness of that trunk, it's perfect. Now, a piece on the bottom there, I'll do one more before I knock off. That's a lovely little side shoot, that, once again, ½ inch. That's the bottom board, nice flat cut, and then you can take your whatever you want. There's a beautiful one up there, ½ inch on a slant for the. Now that's how you know the top and the bottom of your cutting. The slant is on the top. When you water over it, which I never do, look at the videos, you'll see I always water from down below. First pass cutting that, so there we have 3 perfect cuttings. I can take them down home and I can get them set in a pot of compost, and they'll romp away. Absolutely first class. And of course there's a few who's got new grapevines from us last year. What I'm going to do this year, when I do get my new move, is to put some grapes in the garden. So that's why I want a couple of cuttings. If I can get a couple of cuttings well rooted, I intend to plant a couple of grapes in the garden along the side of the fence. I'm going to put some netting along, some wires, and grow a couple of grapevines outside. We'll see how we'll get on with them. And there are a lot of things I wanted to do last year, and I never got around to doing it. Of course, we're having the operation and whatnot. But I'm aiming to put that right this year. So there we are. We'll cut most of the vine away, and of course up the top end here now, it's just a matter of going around and chopping off all the little pieces, and there's plenty of them. And I like to just take my time, work my way at it, cut all the dangly bits away, as I call them. Because once a grapevine gets into growth, you'll be surprised at how many side shoots it sends out. Absolutely thousands of them. So you just got to keep working at it week by week. I like to go along the length of the grapevine, and I like to just clip away side shoots. When some of the side shoots, the fruit and side shoots, if they send a fruit out, I like to go 2 leaves past that fruit and nip them straight away. So you know, you're conserving the plant. It's conserving all its energy into the main vine. Now this is the trunk of the plant here, and I see I'll work my way along this trunk and cut all the side shoots away. The trunk goes all the way along there now, so it's got to be that's 2, that's 6, that's 8, and that's another 12. So it's got to be nearly 30 foot now, the main stem. I tend to get it right at the bottom of the tunnel, and then I can just crop from that trunk, from here right over the trunk, for bunches about a foot apart for the next 5 years. Easy, but that's me grapevine anyway. That's the main one. But I will be taking cuttings once I get down home. I'll show you how to take the cuttings. And as I say, if you want to try grapevine, they're great. This is a few year old now, so we've been getting quite a few good crops from it. Hopefully, I might try a little bit of wine this year. You never know. There's always something different to do. Always something to try. So it keeps me busy. As I say, take a train journey. Once you get on, you never get off. It's just you're forever learning. And that's just one of the points I like to point out to the new subscribers. There's a lot just coming on. First time gardeners. Not so much first time gardeners, but first time plot holders. The only advice I can give to you is once you get a plot, just take it easy. You know, a little bit at a time. You don't have to go rushing and trying to get everything ready for your first year. I've had this plot up here for 25 years, and it's still not the way I want it. There's always something that changes. Every year you always got new ideas. I've just built a new shed at the top end here. We need that new shed because we need it for storage. We've got a little stove in this bottom shed. So what I do want to do is to put potatoes, onions, etc. in that shed when there's a fire on. So the idea of the new shed is to put good tools up there. Or clothes, tea bags, don't forget tea bags, or coffee, things like that can go into the new shed, and of course plenty of storage space underneath for potatoes, onions, keep my seeds in, nice and dry, and that's the whole idea. So I'll be posting a couple of pics on that in the coming months, see how we'll get on. I can't get any building work done at the moment until my leg is foggy, but as I say, I've got enough to be getting on with planting. I'll be starting that this week. I'm going to do some chitting at the weekend. Chitting a few of my homegrown seeds. That'll be in the start of the next video. There's a few lads asked for melon seed and that, so if they chit well, I'll be sending some of them out. I've got plenty of tomatoes to go through. Some lovely varieties that I got sent up. I'll be keeping a few of them. I'll be growing them again this year. But once again, don't be in a hurry to grow tomatoes, to plant tomatoes. I think you get a fantastic crop from a cold zone in March, which is quite easy to do. If you've got a tray with a propagator lid inside the greenhouse, it's fine. You'll find you get a temperature of 55 to 60 in there on a good day, even warmer. So tomatoes, you know, they'll come away slowly, but they revel in temperatures like that. They're absolutely reveling. Not too much heat, just let them tick away nice and slowly. Get no legginess out of them. You want nice, small, squat, strong plants. And that applies to everything, right through your garden, to your cabbage, your brassica family, your leeks, onions. You get nice, small, strong plants that are able to withstand the temperatures, the weather when you put them outside, that withstand diseases. And I always say, a good, strong plant, you'll never fail with it. So, you know, just go easy. Watch my Facebook page. And I'm on there most nights, as I say, for the newcomers. If you want to get on a Facebook page, just send me a friend's request. It's Jeff Holman on the plot, and we'll help you out as much as we can. But that's it for the day. That's it for this video for this week. I'm over the moon. I've managed to get it done. As I say, next week we'll get started on the chitting some seed, and then we'll get if I get the bud room and that set up, get my light set up. With the help of my son again down home, finish the bubble wrap off, get it all nice and tidy. And then I can get the lights on and we can start sowing. What I want to start is some begonias, some petunias, a few bits and pieces, some new celery. I haven't tried celery for a few years, so I grew some celery last year. The roots were nice, but I want to go back to celery. There's a few people like celery and I haven't grown for a few years. You can get self-blanching varieties, which I'm going to attempt to grow in the tunnels. So we'll be trying some of that out. We'll sow some of that in late January. Hopefully you'll have some nice big plants ready to plant out in May into the cold polytunnel. But that's all for videos in the future. For the time being, I'm going to get myself down home, take my cuttings with us, and we'll see you all again in the next video. Okay, bye for now.